this love pain. Anybody got a pill like a pop? For this love pain. Anybody got a prayer like a session? For this love pain, yeah. Ooh, I need it for this love pain. Anybody got a prescription, yeah. For this love pain. Anybody got a pill like a pop? For this love pain. Anybody got a prayer like a session? For this love pain, yeah. Ooh, I need it for this love pain. Anybody got a prescription?
Hey y'all, I know I'm late for a very important date. It's 11:45. Should have been here 15 minutes ago. I apologize, but I'm here. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night. Everything is gonna be all right. Yes, it is. So, guys, I hope you're doing well. I hope your families are well and that you are having a most magnificent day. This is Vivian, and this is the Successful Mind Power Hour. And of course, you know it's not going to be an hour, but I won't even say how long it's going to be because I tend to get long-winded sometimes, and I'm longer than 10 minutes or I'm longer than 15 minutes. It's as long as it needs to be, but it's not going to be over an hour. Let's go with that. Okay. All right. So today I want to talk about something that I've been thinking about over the last couple of days of doing, and just want to kind of discuss it. So how many of you are over the age of 30? Or over the age of 50, really. I'm going to say it that way. That you feel young in your mind, but your body, not so much. Tell me, because I would really like to know, because this is a conversation. And if you're new to the broadcast and you want to give Stream, you have to give StreamYard permission for me to see your comments and your name. You could comment all you want, but I wouldn't be able to see your name. And also like and share this video. Anyone you think may want to get in on this conversation. So, you know, sometimes since I reached the age of 50, I'm older than 50 now, but since the age of 50, I've had a confusion between my head and my body. You know, in my head, I was 20 or 25 years old. My body, not so much, right? My body had other ideas. And it was several different hormonal changes going on in my body. I have an aunt, a long time ago when I was very young. She used to sit us down and talk about how our bodies would change, you know, at the different decades in our lives, because that's how women's bodies change. It's in the decades is when your body changes. So when you're 20, you're going to go through these changes. When you're 30, you're going to go through these changes. And I really appreciated her for that, because I was riveted by it. And my other cousins, maybe not, but I was really riveted by it because it was really, to me, very important information as to how my body would react as I aged. Because she was not telling us that based on something she learned in school. She was telling us that based on her own experiences. And so that was even more valuable to me than getting it out of a book. You know, if somebody that has gone through those things tells you something, don't you see it as a more valuable asset than somebody who just writing a book or doing scientific research? You know, because a lot of times, a lot of the research that's done for women is done by men. I mean, no shade on the men, but they don't know. They have no idea what our bodies are going through, because our bodies is a female body. We know what we're feeling. We know how our bodies are reacting. And they're only basing it on scientific research. So they could never actually know how we're feeling. Now they know, the body parts and how they're supposed to operate and blah, 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 blah. But when it comes down to the actual hormonal changes within the body, they don't really know. All they can do is speculate how it makes you feel. They could even have a study group or a test group, but that doesn't say how every woman in every aspect of life or every age group or every ethnicity or whatever will feel when these things happen. So, but I've been through a lot of personal development to kind of let my body catch up with my head, or vice versa, whichever the case may be. Of course, I don't really want my head to catch up with my body, because the body is saying something different than I want it to say right now. As soon as my body catches up with my head, that's what I want. So I've been through a lot of personal development around just being more emotionally intelligent, right? And I haven't heard anyone else mention that their mind and their body were not in harmony. Now, I think I heard Bob Proctor say that your mind and your body should be in harmony, but I never heard him say that because you're a woman, because he's not, right? That your body is going to go through these changes, and your mind or your thoughts are going to be here, but your body is going to be in a different place. And that happens with women a lot. And I'm not excluding men, but I mean, maybe this might be educational for you when you talk to your significant other, your wife, your girlfriend, or whatever. But did you know that a woman hormones change every decade of her life? And I mean every decade. It's from the time that you're 10, then you're 20, then you're 30. So I'm just going to kind of talk about the hormonal changes that take place from 30 and up, right? So this is scientific. So it's not really just like the personal internal thing, but during your 30s, your levels of hormones, the key muscle building hormones, including your growth hormone and testosterone. Women do have testosterone, by the way. They begin to decline. So your muscles get weaker. That testosterone level that builds those muscles gets weaker. And so you start losing muscle. And it can slow your metabolism. And that's when most women start to gain weight, is in their 30s. And it depends on the life that you lived before that. If you were healthy all your life, and you ate healthy and you exercised and you did all this stuff, and you continue to do that in your 30s, you are still going to experience a small amount of muscle loss, but it won't be as significant as someone, say, that ate unhealthy or didn't exercise or something like that. So it becomes more pronounced in somebody who are in their 30s, where their testosterone and muscle building hormones are diminished. And so that's when a lot of women start to go through weight gain, and their metabolism slows down. So then you get to your 40s. So the 40s, when women have menstrual cycles, and men, if you're embarrassed by that, I'm so sorry. But your cycle length and your menstrual periods start to vary, start to maybe not be as regular as you used to be. And, for instance, if you were a person that was like clockwork, every month you knew exactly what day you were going to come on your menstrual cycle, But now you're going, wait a minute, well, that's not supposed to be happening. Well, if you're in your 40s, it's natural. It's natural for your body to switch. What happened to me in my 40s is I started getting allergies that I never had before. I started being allergic to different fruits and things like that. And I'm like, well, I was never allergic to it before. As a matter of fact, I had been eating it my whole life. And now all of a sudden I was allergic to it. And I was breaking out in hives because I was eating a mango or a kiwi or something like that. And so it freaked me out because it's like, what happened? And I have never experienced acne, as a teenager. But when I got in my 40s, all of a sudden I had acne. And I was like, wait a minute, hold up. I had great skin all this time, but now all of a sudden I have acne. Well, it's because your estrogen drops, right? Or it could spike higher than normal. And over time, your different levels rise in an attempt to prod your ovaries into producing more estrogen. So your ovaries also become overworked, right? And so all of these hormonal changes are not only producing changes in your body, but they're also producing changes up here because you're confused. You have no idea what's going on and why these things are suddenly happening to you, right? And then by the age of 50, your ovaries begin to produce decreasing amounts of estrogen and progesterone. These are hormones that your body naturally produces. And the pituitary gland then tries to compensate by producing more follicle stimulating hormones, which is, I think it's called FSH, or this is a short definition, acronym for it. So in most women go through menopause at this time as well. So for me, because I had a hysterectomy at a very, very early age, I was 28 years old when I had a hysterectomy. Well, wait a minute, I take that back. What about 28? No, I take that back. I was 25 because my daughter was born, and then I had a hysterectomy not long after. So I was 25 years old when I had a almost complete hysterectomy. And so I went through menopause way earlier than most women. And this can happen when your ovaries are removed and those things that produce those hormones that you need to move along in life, right? And so in that case, if your hormone producing glands and like my ovaries are removed, my estrogen level was lowered because I only had one ovary left. And also because of life, my testosterone levels were lower. And so I started gaining a lot of weight. And I was not sedentary because I was working. I had my kids. I worked out as much as I possibly could. I was athletic in school, but I wasn't like this extreme athlete or anything like that. But I started gaining a lot of weight and I was confused. I was like, whoa, what is going on? So when I reached 50 and things just, my mind kept telling me that I was still 25 or 20. And I was trying to do the things that I did when I was that age, but my body was not cooperating. And so I started having emotional issues around that. And menopause is a normal progression. It's what happens to all women. Some women go through a severe case of menopause. Some women go through a mild case of menopause. And I remember talking to my mom about that. And she said, I had night sweats, I think, for a week and it was done. I was so jealous because everybody told me I look like my mom, I acted like my mom, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, why couldn't I get that from my mom? Because I don't know if this is a normal thing, but I've been going through menopause on and off since I was 28 years old. And if you go through menopause and you have those symptoms, and I can tell you some of the symptoms of menopause are that you can have night sweats, you can have reduced sleep, you can have mood swings. The mood swings are the worst. I can tell you, because you can be angry one minute, you have no idea why you're angry. You can be like overjoyous sometimes, and you're giggling and laughing, and then next second you're crying. It's just one of those things. Hello there. So if you are going through those things, sometimes menopause can actually be a dangerous thing, because some of the symptoms can be irritating, but some of them can be dangerous to your body because they cause different reactions within your body. And then some of it is so mentally straining that can also cause a break in mental health as well. So you have to be careful about that. But when they happen, our bodies do one thing, but we're still vibrant and healthy in our minds most of the time. Okay. But that is until the changes happening in our bodies begin to affect our thoughts and our minds. Now, this is where that personal development thing comes in. You know, if you are involved in personal development, you know, the majority of the people that are doing personal development type things are men. And a lot of the personal development people that I have followed or that I listen to and I still listen to are men. But I also follow women as well, because they have a better understanding of how our emotions work. Not that there isn't a common ground in that, because there is a common ground in the way men and women think, and how we can change those thought patterns. But the common ground sometimes is not enough for you to connect to. And if you're not connecting with that person, you're not listening to that person. And even though you might hear them, you're not listening to them, and you're not absorbing what they're saying or taking in what they're saying, because there's a disconnect there. But I would love to talk to other women who are going through this transition, because this is what's happening to me. And I found a way to, at least when the mood swings come, I found a way to change that. I found a way to help my body kind of start to catch up with my mind. And, you know, over the last year, I lost 52 pounds. I still have a lot of weight to lose, because it takes time, you know, and I plateaued for a while. And that also takes time when you plateau to transition into continuing with your weight loss. But I would love to share, I would love for you to share what your struggles or your thoughts are about how you are overcoming that disconnect between how your young brain thinks and how your body, now that it's a little bit older, is reacting to that age process. Not so much the scientific stuff that goes on, the hormonal changes and everything, but how are you dealing with that? And how are you, if you have overcome certain things, I would love to hear about that. So whether you're listening to the live or on replay, just I would love to share with me what you're doing to overcome your menopausal issues, or muscle loss, or whatever those things are that are going on with your body that's not in congruence with your head. And and I will share with you what I'm doing as well. So I'm thinking about doing a Facebook group just around that issue. So if you want to join me, I would love to have you there. And so we women can have a chit chat. And if you guys want to know more about how your wife or girlfriend or significant other is dealing with certain things and how you can understand that, you're welcome to join. But you might be a little uncomfortable because it will be a whole bunch of women talking. But just know that I've been through it, still going through some things, but I can help you if you let me. And I would really love your help as well if if you've overcome some things, so that we can talk about that. So I hope that this has helped someone. And if you are looking at this, whether you're looking at it on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter, please like and share. If you're on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel and share and turn on the notifications so that you know when my next video is coming up. And I will talk to you guys later. And in the meantime, though, I wish you peace. I wish you love. And I love you guys so much. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.